Alrighty, welcome back. I'm your man, Bad Chad, and Queen Jolene's on the camera, and we got the engine in the house. Wow, the engine's something else. Like, I love it, I love it, I love it. There's quite a bit going on right now. Nathan has got the flip front end working, and he's got it pulled off and pulled into the paint room there, or the other room, pulled in there, and we're kind of setting it and getting it ready to be welded up. He has the fenders support it. Also, he's cut the firewall out. And we all know by the toy that a lot more structure is getting cut out. We're going to leave probably that when Nathan comes back. We'll get into more of that. But today we're going to get on to the other side of the car. This is not, I repeat, this is not a repeat. This is not a repeat. This is what I did on the door that you did not get to see. So what I did is I left what I didn't do on, what I did on this side, that I didn't show you, I'm going to show you on that side. So basically, the part that we put the hinge in, and then we cased the hinge in the door and got the door open, we got done on the other side. Now we're going to show you like the repairs that we've done to make it work on the 40. Thanks for coming back. I'm really happy with the glass, Paul and his assistant, Christy. Very happy. Now we're going to tackle this door. Now, I'm going to cut the hinges off. Basically, we're at the exact same place where we were there. We're going to cut these off. I reminded myself to cut the piece down inside the door to get that back open. That was a trying thing, I guess. I want some gloves on it. You'll have to excuse me for a minute. There's a little stuff to fix after I cut this open. That fix. And I guess sometimes it's a decision that you make is whether you're wondering if you've done it right or wrong. And as long as you're making yourself happy, it doesn't matter which way you do it. Don't want to cut it that way. Wow, I probably shouldn't be cutting that way. When I'm putting my grinder in here, I can't get my disc in far enough and it binds me up. So the only way I can get at it is if I turn it and go that way. That's why I'm doing that. Just kind of taking my time at it. I'm using the disc up and wow. Probably could have tried to bust the pin up out of it, but I don't think I'm going to get the pin out of that one down there. So cutting came to my brain. I'm not going to be able to pound it. I probably could have pounded that one out, probably, no doubt. Now, there's one. Yeet. didn't want it to come open. There you go. Alrighty. Now, I guess the reason, I maybe explained it before, is because the reason I'm going suicide is because the hinges, they were given to us from a fan, and we're using them. On the hinges that we have on there now, they were all drilled and had different bolts in them, or different whatever bolts in them. This was all gummied up down here. The hinge is bent, obviously. There was just a bunch of stuff that's going on there that I felt like, why not put a brand new set of hinges on it and just get rid of that stuff? How long does it take to fix? Pull that hinge off, repair all that, take that hinge off, repair all that, get it unbent, get it drilled, it just kind of, you have to weigh your odds. And with the new hinges lying in the cupboards and the waiting there, it was kind of a simple thing to say, let's do that. Where I have this piece on here, I have to make these little pockets here fit. So we'll get them to fit, and we'll get them on there nice and tight and right. What I gotta do is I gotta sand that down to get this to that, so we can apply our weld in there. We really want to get a nice job put on those, because that's basically where it's hinged. You can see we started welding it down the back, all the way along the back of the door. But what I didn't like is when I opened the door up, I got this. I mean, this all looks nice and smooth. This is all going to have a new piece in the back of here. But to make this shape here and then come down to this shape here and fit that, it really wasn't what I was thinking that I wanted to do. So basically, I smoothed it off like I got over on this side. Just come take a look. You look at that side. Oh, you can see right from there. Can't you see here? And then you have that. Basically, when the door comes off, easy filling, easy mudding, painting, everything, very easy. Very easy, it's nice and smooth. Now on this side, I've got a nice gap in the back of the door that I'm very happy with, that it's not as tight. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this off, and I have to remember how I done it. It's been like a couple minutes or so, but I need a flathead screwdriver. No, these might do. And I'm going to remove this little, I don't know what you call it, like a little rubber deal effect there, like it holds your interior. I don't know what that word is called. Floyd is messing with the interior. That's awesome. Glass is done. Now, yeah, so I just wanted to smooth that off to make it look better, and we can make a nicer piece go around there. And basically what I gotta do is I gotta cut that off. Let's do it. Give a zip cut. Rip her all out. We don't need it. Little bracket back here holding us together. Need a longer zip cut is what I need. Move that off. It's got a little backing plate in there which held, I think it was maybe the lock on it, or the, what do you call it, the chuck. You can see that piece that's holding it there. See this piece right here? There's a piece this piece goes in here and there's a bolt in there. And then it used to have like a little piece of, it had a, exact same as this thing, had a little piece of metal in there which accepted your 2 bolts. And you could slide it back and forth to adjust the door in or out. That's how, but this little cage, see that little cage is empty now, the little piece fell out of it because I cut the bottom of it off. That's basically what's going on here. But there's no, what can I say? I could have built a cage in behind there when I bolted this to this, because there's a piece in the back side which actually is squeezing the door to hold it in place. If, I thought about that a couple of times, if I weld it there, there's no movement on the door. You can't move the piece in the back. This bolt's only going one way. There's no movement on the door. That's not true. Anyways, because if you weld it on the back of the door, you still can move the door with these being slotted. Yes, you can, right? Or no? No, if they're welded to the back, there's no movement. That's it, basically. Yes, because there's no movement, because this hole here is machined. If it's bolted in the backside, if it's welded on the backside, there'd be no movement. That's exactly what I was thinking. What I did is I left them undone, because I can go like this and reach the backside and get the piece that moves around inside like that. So it gives this adjustment. If I'd weld them on, I feel like there'd be no adjustment. So basically I can just reach them up there and bolt the doors on, which I have no problem doing with. And I think it's probably a good idea. Let's face it, no adjustment makes it quicker. But basically when you're welding up a twisted old car and the hinges are gone bad in the front and everything's not probably fitting the best, you'd want adjustment. Blah, 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 blah. What? I'm going to twist that off. Can't cut it. There. There. All right. Basically, I've just taken and cutting everything away that's not smooth. Now I'm going to make a piece smooth it up. I want this, just knock off some, there's some places on that right there where I've got going on there. It's quite sharp. I don't want that. I want to knock it off a little bit. I don't want to make the noise either, but it is what it is. What, you have 1000 times zoom on that thing when I went by?
No.
Loud. Loud. Let's cut this off. Probably shouldn't have cut that off, but just bent that back in. Now let's go to making a piece for that. Let's make it look nice. Smooth it up a little bit. And also the other way, it didn't give me, the fitment was too tight. There's no room for anything. On the other side, I have no worries about nothing. I wasn't getting a true read on the other side when I was shutting the door, because it was banging at the bottom, and banging at the bottom. I want to do, which side do I want to do? I'm going to go with straight edge over here. I'm going to go right to there, I'm just, right there, straight up to there. Right there. Now I'm going to, can't go anywhere, so I got to help in 2 spots. Hoping it don't go anywhere. I don't know if I did that any good by pulling on that. It didn't go anywhere, I don't think. Yeah. Let's check this out now. These have to be connected. Give myself a little bit of length. Lots of Hiltz things. Go with that one, not that one. That's our pattern. We get it cut out, we'll check it against it and see what it does do for us, and then we'll go from there. I see, I didn't press it on that line, see? I didn't press it right there. I went out to the end there and I forgot to press there. So now I'm guessing. Do a lot of it. Sometimes it'll bite you. But, no, still, get these cut out. You really want to actually get your metal fitting really good to where you want to weld it. If I get the metal on the top of this and I get a weld nut here, then I'll make my weld's going to hang up off it. Basically, I want to get that metal back so I can weld it right on top of this metal and maybe push this metal back a little bit. I'm not sure, but I am sure. I want to 45 it, to be honest with you, so I can get it on both pieces. But the placement where you put your metal will dictate what your job looks like when it's done. On the inside of the hinge part here, I think you can even see on the weld on that side, you can see where it's not fully ground off. And the reason being is I didn't want to grind it all off. Let's do it. I didn't want to grind it all off. Nope, that's going to come back. Let's cut that off. Maybe placing that on there. It gets rid of that thing, that chunk out there. Like it really does clean it up a bit. That's pretty good. Let's cut it. Piece of metal made out of it. And it's something that you don't want to be, you want to take care when you're doing something like that. You wouldn't want to pull down the door, pull up on the door, or pull down on the door at any time. It's, you know, it's vulnerable right now because it's not finished, but it's in pretty good hands, I would say. You've done a good job out there today, Vina. You've done a good job out there today. Whole arm doing a good job. Let's get that cut. Going back out to work, are you, Fina? Going back out to work. It's a beautiful day here in Nova Scotia today. Beautiful day. Thank everybody for coming back. You know, just building old cars, basically all we're doing. Just like you can do in your own shop. Something to think about. Keep you busy. I got that a little bit too long going on there. I'm going to trim that back. You can tell that. I'm not on the line. But like I said, I always rather have more than not enough. Now, I like using that a lot, but the only thing it does, like I say it all the time, it just gives you that edge that you have to clean all the time. I guess maybe if it was right on the money and sharp, I'm not sure, but it's a nice way to cut things. Now this is not something I think everybody should do if they do a suicide door, no. This is something I'm doing because it helps me repair an issue that I'm having. Helps me repair an issue I'm having. I like that down there. I like that hitting there. So I'm going to trim this off a little bit. I have to decide which piece I'm going to trim, what I'm going to do. I'm thinking this needs to be knocked back just a bit. Probably could grind it or sand it. What I probably should do is get this welded on here, weld that on there, and then I can take the sander and sand that back to where I need it. Basically, the only place I'm not happy with is right here. Cut that down a little bit further. Cut that off a little more. And here I'm going to draw this. Phoenix having to fit. And I might take and cut that off, make it nice and straight, and go there. Let's do it. I'm gonna let my dog in. I don't know what she's doing. She's making some funny noises. What she's doing. Come on in there, Queenie Sheba. Say hi to everybody. Do a fancy trick for them or something. Give me a paw. Give me a paw. Give me your other paw. Good job. She's probably saying I don't work for nothing. You did a good job, man. Should have my gloves on. Missing my sander wheel. I got two zip cuts. No sander wheel. I gotta change things up here. Oh, don't want to do that. Do that for. Bend it. Don't want to bend it. Give someone a Baird haircut. Now, put that in there like that. I'll cut that off just a little bit further because it's fitting so nice. Lovey-dovey. Lovey-dovey. Just so it fits nicer, that's all. Nope, get on there. That's where I want you, just like that. All right, I'm gonna sand that down there just a little bit so it fits a little better. basically when I'm doing something like this and you're watching me take something off or put something back on or back and forth and that sort of stuff, basically all I'm doing is making sure that I'm happy with the way it fits. And that's the end of it. I have to be happy the way it fits, because once I start welding it on, then you know what it becomes in. It becomes in, and why did I do that? I did it a couple times in this car already, and I'm trying to cut back on it, if you know what I'm trying to tell you. But it does take, you know, some time to get it where you need it. And right there, I think I am happy with it. So we're going to tack that in there. On the front side here, I'm going to sand it, make it fit. Now look at this. All inside here. I can keep it there, I suppose. Ouch. It's always harder when you're working somewheres and you've got something in your way. Basically, like, you know, when people say you're not a welder or you're not a grinder or whatever, but basically to me, what a good welder is somebody that can weld something up if they're bound up into a knot, or whether they're laid out fresh on the floor and on their back or whatever, and you can get a good job done, you're a good welder. If you need to be all set up and get everything in place before you weld it and get comfortable and get it seated properly, I would say you probably are still a good welder, but let's face it, a good welder just gets it done. See, he can weld when he's not even touching the trigger, just like that. Well, we have a customer, someone at the door. I'm going to knock it on here. And I'm going to go answer the door, because that's the proper thing to do. Hello. How you doing?
Hello there.
Yeah. No, you're being filmed right at the present moment. We're doing a little video right now.
Okay.
I was just about to come to answer the door. Okay. I don't do anything for anybody, thanks. So.
Okay. It's fine.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Have a great day. Now, back at this. I got it spotted on there. I can get it. It's nicely there. Just have to make sure I can get it fitting right everywhere. Let's do it again. I was trying to be polite and answer the door, but I guess a little quicker than I am. Fitting good there. See where I got the metal here now? If you come take a look, see how when I weld the metal, I just pull that out a little tiny bit. Then I can weld that heavy stuff down on top of that metal, and it really will adhere good, you know what I mean? I can grind a little bit off. Back in there should be good. Just trying to get in the right places. Also, when you get welding this stuff up, things will move on you. That's why I'm glad that the hinges have adjustment. I got a little bit there. I want to grind it off flat there as possible, so just want to get it flat as possible, I guess. Let's Trying to match her up best I can. Little hammer, little tap on that. And that will be so much easier, actually. And I know it's a bit of work right now, but it's, you know, I have to work to get it to do it right now, but when it comes time to grind it all off and primer it and fill it, that's going to be much easier to sand off than 3 or 4 of these, if you know what I'm trying to say. Like that. That's not fun, I would say, or clean looking. I like that too, up around there a little bit better without that hump sticking out. I like how that's fitting there. See how that metal's fitting there? It's fitting nice there. Nice to weld. Now, I got a little bit of thing going on here, but let's just, I think we can weld it. Sure we can. Beautiful. Now, it's not so bad there. I got to sand that off to get to that edge to weld that down that face. Let's do that. Bum, bum, bum. Get a sanding pad. I had some 40s given to me the other day, and they're not as good as these 60s, or whatever I think they're 60s. Yeah, they have 60 written on the back. They're not as good as those. They're a little finer grit. The lower the number, the coarser the grit. I'm just trying to find my stuff. Where'd I put that at now? Do we see that anywhere? I thought I just took them off and put them somewhere, but not a very good show, eh? We'll get these off. I just need the rubber piece in the thing. Where that's at. Right with you, folks. Right there. Thanks for holding on, man. Thanks for holding on. Get that sanded down there. I don't mind. I like sanding things actually to get them right perfect in their place. After where it's like that right there now, I can sand it and get it right to where it needs to be instead of me taking it and cutting it, going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. If you know what I'm trying to tell you. Some of it needs to be cut, yes, but some of it can be sanded. Now I'm just going to sand it off to the edge of that door lip there. That's perfect there. I'm actually going to leave. I have this metal here going like this, and this metal coming here like this. I'm going to leave this metal here a little bit longer than this metal coming over. The reason being is I'm going to hit my welder on the edge of this metal and burn it over to that metal. And after when I do that, it obviously I'm burning it off through this and getting it over there, which will give me a little more of a lip going down through there. Let's try a couple. We'll get a couple of tacks on that. I got something itching my nose. Okay. Check this out. I'll push it over there a little bit. I'm going to start on the face of this metal and run it over that metal. much there, but we nailed her. Good. And then I can see back on this side, you can see how much penetration's on this side. So we grind this side first, and then we'd know how far we can grind. I'm saying that's good. When we get too hot, things move very quickly. What I got to do here now is I got to cut this off. Got to cut down through here. I got to come on the back side. I got to cut that off down through there. I also got to come in, cut this out. All along here, I got to cut this off. We got to come up here and cut this. Across here halfway, and then back across. So we're just cutting that little hockey stick out of there, basically. That's all we want to do is cut that hockey stick off and then make a new hockey stick to put back in there that's flat. That's basically all I'm going to do there. I got the sander right here. I'll show you what I'm going to do. With the hinges, you can see that the hinges are, I'll shut that off for a second. Where the hinges are like this, you can see that there's a box there. That box is in further in the front, and it's out in the back. And I was looking at, did I get the hinge in too far? Did I do something? No. Well, what the issue is the hinge comes out straight. The hinge comes out straight, and the car doors are coming towards the car. So when the hinge goes in the door, you can see what's going on right there. As my arm's going to the front of the car, my hinge is not going in the door straight. It's actually going in like this because that's the way the door is going. So as the hinge is coming out this way, out straight, this door is angled into this post because this post, you can see the distance here, and then you can see the distance up the front. Smaller distance up front because it's coming together. Well, that makes that hinge go in that door. It's like when the hinge is straight and the door is going in like this. So basically that's what's happened. That's why I'm sanding that off. I was kind of wondering, was I getting that wrong? But no, that's the way it fits the door. And they made them plenty long so you can do that and French the door and you have lots of left. I'm going to sand that off. So what happened is I stuck that in there, that hinge in there with this box and welded it at the end. And that's where it went. And there was nothing here, so we ran a little flat stock up there, which secured our box, and then we got our metal put in there, and now we have to secure it even more with welding this up all the way along there, just like we did over there. Weld all the way down along the back, all the way down along the back of the door, all the way up. We tacked it on the inside because that's basically not what you're going to see with the door card on it. Let's sanding. This one here, I scrape both pieces of metal so I can get it welded good, penetrate on both, make it a little thinner on each. This one here, I'm going to start the welding on top, like I said, on top of this edge and run it over there. So this one's a little bit higher than that metal. I just started to hit it, so I just backed off. So I know this is a little bit higher than that. So when I go to weld that, I'll do the exact same trick as I did the last time. Use the heavy stuff. So when you're placing this metal, it all could depend on what you're doing, you know. This is underneath the door card. You're never going to see it. You're not saying you're never going to see it. You're going to see it someday in your life. But let's face it, you want to do a half-decent job on it. But that there where the metals are good together, I would leave it like that. Now, let's see if we can get this connected. Starting on the heavy stuff and running it up to the big stuff, the sheet metal. what I'm doing. And the reason I was able to do that is because there was, that material there was thick enough and it had a little bit more to get up there. So that's how I'll weld that up. When I come back to weld that up, I will not start in an empty spot again. I'll start on top of one I already have there. I've already completed. Basically, I'm just going to go through how I weld something up. I would get everything dotted in to an inch, like, you know, close to an inch all the way around. Once you get it dotted into an inch, then you're free game to get your air hose going and go 1, 2, 3, 4, and you blow it off and you keep it cool. But on something like this, if you start welding all this, and getting all that done and getting that all hot, things change very easily. Things change. This is only sheet metal along here. There's nothing makes it any stronger than the sheet metal out there. You're welding sheet metal to put them hinges in there. And if you get that hot, it can change on you. Easy peasy. So there's different ways of, like, where I haven't got that lined up there the best, or if there's a big gap, use your advantage of your metal to get it to where you need to go. Let's see what the bottom one says. A little bit of a gap there, I'll leave that. Where it's nice, fitting nice, I ground it together so it's going to feel good, look good. Let's tack that on. Now I have a place to start whenever I come back. All right, everybody, thanks a lot for coming back. I really appreciate it. I'm going to leave it as that. This in here, for me to cut that all out, it's going to take the next little bit to get it cut out and not tear this all up. I'm going to use the zip cut to cut there, zip cut to cut down here. I'll use the zip cut to cut along as close as I can. I'll come in and dig the rest out with this bad boy, no doubt in my mind. And then when you come back, we'll just continue on finishing the stuff, like this sort of stuff. You know, what do you do with that? Or what would you, you know, you can make up your mind what you want done with it, but basically I'm going to do it my way, but you can take the time in your own brain and figure out how you'd want to fix it, how long it would take you, what tools you're going to have to use, and if you can get it done quicker than me, God bless you. All right, everybody, thanks for coming back. I really appreciate it. Have a great rest of your day. It's a nice day out there, and I'm going outdoors with Jolene. Back tomorrow, we'll be here.